What's up, guys? Corey Taylor here, and this is my pro wrestling roundup. To start off, I'm going to tell you that my favorite wrestlers are Matt Hardy, CM Punk, Bret Hart is my all-time favorite. I actually have a tattoo on my arm. If I had more than two hands, I'd show you, but I'll show you eventually. Also, The Undertaker. The guy's a legend. He has revolutionized the business with his Undertaker gimmick. No other man other than Mark Calloway could have got the Undertaker gimmick to go as long and as well as it has. Also, I love TNA. I think they have some great fresh talent like Jay Lethal, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and I think that they can truly, if they're given the ball, they can run with it. But if Hogan and Bischoff are kept in office, then it's not going to go well. Speaking of Hogan and Bischoff, a lot of the contracts of the TNA roster are up in October. Guys like Kevin Nash have spoken out about the company and what his opinion is of it. There was actually a Twitter account, TN Angry, as in TNANGRY, and it was a pro wrestler. No one really knows who it was. I personally believe that it was either Eric Bischoff or Samoa Joe. Or not Eric Bischoff, I'm sorry, Eric Young or Samoa Joe. If it was Eric Bischoff, what a storyline that would have been. Anyway, I heard guys a month ago saying, "Oh man, I'm leaving TNA," and TN Angry, which was, like I said, either Samoa Joe or Eric Young, saying, "I'm leaving TNA when my contract runs out. There's this new promotion in Florida that everybody's looking at." And the way I see it, if some big names like Eric Young, in my opinion, that guy is an amazing talent that's being underutilized in TNA. Shut up. Sorry, phone went off. Yes, I told my phone to shut up. Anyway, if guys like Eric Young, Samoa Joe, Kevin Nash, maybe even Jay Lethal, if those type of guys, who I don't think you can have impact without those guys, if they leave the company, then that could be the best thing for TNA. Because then Dixie will have to step up and be like, well, maybe having Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan run my company isn't the best idea. Instead of thinking, yay, the fans like me, yay. Because the fans don't like you, Dixie. Not with what you're doing to the company right now. Anyway, WWE news. Now I'm going to be honest. All my life I've been a diehard WWE fan. I suffered through the worst of the wrestling crap that they have dished out. Mae Young giving birth to a hand. Doink versus Doink. Undertaker versus Undertaker. Triple H dressed as Kane, having sex with a mannequin that they were making out to be a dead body. Al Snow eating his dead dog that the big boss man cooked. My sister still hates that movie. Anyway, I've been through all the wrestle crap, but I've stuck by WWE because they helped me through a very rough childhood. Well, not really rough as in, like, oh man, I didn't live on the street, but rough as in, I was born with a facial deformity, so I was very self-conscious, so I didn't have many friends. So wrestling was my outlet to kind of get away from myself. And I grew up with guys like the Ultimate Warrior, who's nuts now. Hulk Hogan, who's nuts now. Guys like The Undertaker, who's still an icon. Bret the Hitman Hart, who is my hero. And just a long list of other great superstars who truly helped me grow. I know it's stupid to say that wrestling changed my life, but it really did. Having that outlet really, truly helped me. Anyway, I digress. What I'm trying to get at is I've stuck by WWE through the hard times, through the WWE, WCW invasion, through everything. But I've actually started to simmer out when it comes to WWE. Because I'm watching it now and it's just... Alright, back in the 80s, if Hulk Hogan got dropped on his head on a steel chair, he was out at least 3 to 4 weeks. John Cena gets DDT'd on the concrete floor, and he comes back the next night fine. It bothers me that they are making John Cena out to be the worse than Hulk Hogan, to be freaking Superman. And I get it, it's PG, which that's a whole nother rant. But I think that John Cena, if he's wants to be a hero, he has to relate to the fans, and he has to, when he gets hurt, he has to be hurt. I'm not saying that because I only think that Cena has one move, or because he's a one-hit wonder who got lucky. But I see other talent who are rotting away in the WWE, and it bothers me. Matt Hardy, the guy speaks his mind. He had a weight problem because of a health issue, and that it bothers me seeing people write, "Oh, you're such a fat ass," blah blah blah, to him, because it's just wrong. And he really did have a health issue. I actually had a friend of mine who had the same issue, and he gained a lot of weight from it because he couldn't do much, and he was eating a lot more because of the situation, and because it wasn't going to the right place, and it ended up really hurting him. But then he got everything fixed up, and then a year later, he was skinny as balls. But Matt Hardy, I think, is an amazing talent. I've always been more of a fan of him than I have his brother Jeff. And now he has a YouTube Matt Hardy brand, and then he has Matthew Hardy, or Matthew brand. And I don't really understand this. I know it's kind of part of his gimmick. He's trying to make it out to be a storyline. But it's starting to make me kind of wonder what the hell he's thinking. Because WWE, as far as I know, he even says this, he's not going to be around for much longer. Then why are you doing this whole gimmick thing? Just speak your mind on your one YouTube page. Don't make an alter ego to speak your mind. I really truly believe that he could have been a world champion. But with that whole Edge Lita thing, it threw him under the bus. And that, when he spoke his mind about what was going on with him and Lita and Edge, nobody liked it. They fired him for it. What did they do for Edge? They gave him a freaking world title. It really made me beyond livid. Anyway, I believe that a lot of the talent in WWE are rotting away because of guys like Sheamus, who, I can't really say that. Sheamus is a decent wrestler. I'm not going to say it's because he's a workout buddy with Triple H, but he is a good wrestler. But guys who don't belong on the roster should be just swept away, should be fired, because they don't deserve their spot. I'm sorry. I understand Randy Orton is a great talent, but his attitude is horrible. I've heard cases of fans going to see him and he hardly even looks at them. And right now he's supposed to be a face. But I think he needs a reality check. And no, that's not a segue into The Miz. Speaking of The Miz, he's one that I don't think deserves the fame he's getting. He's a bona fide reality TV star. A reality TV. Reality TV. Do you hear me? That is the worst, lowest quality of TV in my opinion. It has ruined television. It ruined MTV. It ruined VH1. It ruined every other channel. It ruined TV. And he got freaking hired by the WWE because he was a reality TV star. I'll give him. He's a better wrestler than he was when he first started. But that doesn't mean he should be a wrestler. I think he's a good, obnoxious, cocky heel. But you know what? If he can truly prove me wrong, and he can earn a world title, and he can actually be more than a transitional champion, more power to him. But right now, all I'm seeing is a guy who's going to put Bryan Danielson over. Alright, the last thing we're going to talk about is last weekend's Night of Champions pay-per-view. I was watching it with my friend Travis, and we were both really impressed with this pay-per-view. It was like almost a WrestleMania quality pay-per-view in my opinion. It had great matches, it had beautiful divas, and it had good transition into the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that's coming on this weekend. Where was it? Wait. Alright, either the pay-per-view is 2 weeks ago, or I'm wrong about when I think the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is. But the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is coming up. And it's looking to be I wasn't going to order it, because I only like to order one pay-per-view, like, every month. But it's looking to be a fantastic show. Because you got Undertaker versus Kane in Hell in a Cell. They have done the storyline almost perfect. It's kind of stupid to have Kane beating people up. Did you hurt my brother? Because, you know what? Kane's supposed to be a monster. He doesn't need a reason to go out and beat people up. I thought when they had him go back to the locker room after he beat out Rey Mysterio at the pay-per-view a couple months ago, and then come back with a suitcase, it gave me an idea. They could have went like a schizophrenic gimmick with him, where he would come out and help someone, and then leave, and then come back and beat him up. Almost like I said, he had split personalities. But instead they didn't bother with that idea. Well, they didn't have that idea. But a couple times I saw him, he helped someone, and then went backstage, and then came back and beat the crap out of him. And I thought that could have been a really good way to go with Kane. But instead they just had him, Rey Mysterio hurt my brother. Which, no offense, Rey Mysterio is a fantastic wrestler. I don't think a small cruiserweight type wrestler can stand against the Undertaker and put him in a coma. I mean, come on. But I digress again. The Kane and Undertaker, it's a saga that's been going on since 1998, I think. And these guys have been fighting and teaming up, and they work really well together. And I wish, I don't really wish this, but a part of me wishes that The Undertaker was retiring. Because this would be the perfect retirement match for him. With Paul Bearer by his side, Hell in a Cell, one of the matches that he made famous. And it could have been him winning and then, doing his whole bow and arm thing. And it could have been a great finish for his career. But I'd rather it would be at, WrestleMania or Survivor Series where he started his career, rather than at a one-hit wonder pay-per-view, because I don't think you're going to see Hell in a Cell and TLC 3 years from now as pay-per-views. Money in the Bank, that could stick, if they change it up a bit. I think what they should do is have a tournament. But The Undertaker and Kane are going to tear up Hell in a Cell. I guarantee it. And I know there's a couple other matches on the pay-per-view, but to be honest, that's the reason I'm buying the pay-per-view. Because I know that, and just watching Daniel Bryan make The Miz tap out yet again. But unfortunately, I know that'll lead up to the Miz winning his title, his world title. It just drives me nuts. I can't stand that he's going to be a world champion. But anyway, that's all for now, guys. I will chat with you guys again next week. And I hope you guys enjoyed my view on what's currently going on in pro wrestling. I know I talk a lot.